Okay, good. So Parashat Emor obviously starts with Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Emor el Kohanim bnei Aharon HaKohen. Tell the Kohanim, it's the responsibility, if you will, the mitzvot that have to do with Kohanim, what they need to be careful about is the mitzvot that it says here. So, it gives us the list of mitzvot as far as the halachot of mourning and becoming tameh for a dead relative has its own restriction. Their marriage has restriction. Now, if you take a look at Pasuk Vav, it says, Kedoshim yihyu le'elokehem. They shall be kadosh for Hashem. V'lo yechalelu shem elokehem. And they shall not desecrate the name of Hashem. So, this idea that the Kohanim represent Almighty in this world. Like the Gemara says, Meshulchan Gavoa Kazach. I mean, it's actually the pasuk. It says it's like the korbanit is mine. I'm giving it to Kohanim. Kohanim, they're not getting their own portion. They're getting as far as being the representative of Hashem in this world. So therefore, what reflects upon them, Kaviyachol reflects upon Hashem. So that's why they have to be careful how they act. They have to be careful in these mitzvot and not desecrate the name of Hashem. Because they bring the korbanot of Hashem, as I just explained earlier. Now we would have expected the sentence to end here, but there are two more words. What is the last edition of the pasuk? And they shall be kadosh. You just told me. The pasuk is started, Kedoshim, they shall be kadosh. They shall be kadosh to Hashem. So you told me, why would you repeat that? What does it even mean? How do you understand it? Nir, what do you think?
I think similar to what you said last week.
Yeah.
Everything is the letter of the law. This is the spirit of the law. There are many exemptions.
So that's a very good answer. That's a very good answer. I want to discuss what the Gemara learns from here. Probably what you're saying is true in the Peshat understanding of the pasuk, but there's an actual halacha lema'aseh we learn from here. Gemara says, "V'hayu kodesh ba'al korcham."
That's right.
This says they shall be kadosh, and they should act properly, and they shall be kadosh. Means they shall be kadosh. It's not an option. It's not an option. We force them. It's an obligation on them that it's not up to them. Remember, Rav Yaakov Weinberg, Zecher Tzadik Yiracha, a number of years back, he said he got a call from someone in Los Angeles, a Persian person, a Persian Cohen. And he said, Rabbi, I have a question and I need you to answer it to me straight. So, okay, no problem. I need you to tell me what is the absolute halacha. I said, sure. But please understand, Rabbi, I don't want any chumrot. I don't want any stringencies. If halacha, basic halacha allows it, that's what I want to hear. I'm not interested in, that's not for me. So, Rabbi Weinberg says, fine. But Rabbi, please, I have your word. And, he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I have your word. You give me the absolute halacha. Yes, I give you the absolute halacha. So he says, okay, so what's your question? My question is, I'm a Cohen. And I'm interested in a divorcee. Can I marry her or not? So he says, no. It is absolutely asur. So the Rabbi, is it like halacha that or you're being? No, it's absolute. There is no way not. So he says, what's? So he said, I met some young Chabad, I guess they call him Shalichim, comes to his store, puts some tefillin on him, whatever. So he told me if I marry a divorcee, my children won't be Kohanim. Now, happens to be true. If he did marry a divorcee, his children would be Halalim, would not be Kohanim. But his understanding from that conversation was, okay, so they won't be Kohanim. I don't mind. His understanding was, look, you have something going for your family, you're going to be giving it up. So he said, I'll give it up. It's worth it for me. I don't mind. I'll marry her and my children won't be Kohanim. So then I talked to Rabbi Alnes. Rabbi Alnes tells me, no, I'm not allowed to. So I was thinking perhaps Rabbi Alnes is being worried about my children. Really, I'm allowed to. It's just like what he thought originally. So that's why I decided to call you and make sure. So the point of this pasuk is exactly this story. Says Sipor no, you may think, look, Hashem is giving me extra kedusha. We have a loftier, higher level for the virtue of being Kohanim. So you know what? Since it is an added bonus, you may think it's optional. And then you would have a choice of saying thanks, but no thanks. That's why you need the pasuk here to tell you what? While you kodesh, they must. It's an obligation. It's imperative. It's not up to them. It's not up to them. While you kodesh, that's what Sforno says. That's what it has to say over here. It's a must. Because, like the Gemara says, it's extra mitzvot, nitrabi behu mitzvot, because it's an extra level, a higher level. So you say, you know what? I don't want to be that highest possible. Mediocrity works for me. I'll be average, I'll be regular, I'll be like a regular Jew. So that Torah says is not an option. And I think it's an important thing to remember in our life. Yes, one could choose the path of mediocrity. But like the Ramchal says people have such an easy time to say, okay, you know what? I won't be the most religious Jew around. It's okay. It's enough that I keep kosher, that I know Hashem. Right? He says, how easy is it for you, says Ramchal. You see somebody whom you know, I could do as good a job as him. I could have the same job as him. I am as smart as him. I am as capable as him. But now he's got a better job, a better house, and a better car. How easy is it for us to tolerate it? Right? Something that I know I have different capabilities, sometimes it's easier. Right? But that that should be me. I'm just. So he says, now imagine that multiplied by the billions of times of eternity. This is only few years. Eternity, for eternity having an olam haba that is inferior to what it could have been, what it should have been. How would one feel? Yeah, it's very easy now. Now we are not, we are not in the place. We don't feel, we don't appreciate all the benefits, everything. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay that I make it to olam haba, even if I'm on the last row, right? How easy is it? How easy is it, says Ramchal? It's not a joke. But, says Ramchal, even that is not the most really sophisticated way of looking at it. Forget about other people. If one knows one has more potential, one could do better, one could do higher, not to do it, how could one feel responsible to himself and do that? So therefore, this is, I think, a very, very fundamental idea. V'hayu kodesh. Yes, we have the unbelievable blessing called the power of choice. So by its very definition, it gives us choice to that which must be imperative upon us, that which we should know, and we do know, that is crucial. It allows us to disregard it, ignore it, be lazy about it, however we're gonna. But let's be honest with ourselves for a minute or two. V'hayu kodesh. So I feel that although the message is the pasuk is by Kohanim, but the message is true by everything in our life, everything in everybody's life. In everybody's life. Why not be the best we could be? How could one really justify that to yourself? Justify that to ourselves? Right. One other thing I want to say, perhaps I should have said that first. That's really in Pasuk Aleph, the very, very first Pasuk. Same type of question, and unnecessarily, it seems, repetition. Right? Hashem tells Moshe, Emor el Kohanim, tell the Kohanim, talk to the Kohanim, Bnei Aharon, who are the children of Aharon, ve'amarta alehem, and tell them, what's the point of that? And tell them what they should do. I mean, we may talk like that, but why would Torah do that? Go speak to the Kohanim, the children of Aaron, and tell them. So just tell me. Go speak to Kohanim, right? Go tell the Kohanim. Why repetition? So what does Rashi say? Lehazhir gedolim ala ketanim. This is a halacha. Emor Yevamot points out that applies to every mitzvah of Torah. We have an obligation towards minors. That means even though a minor, he's not responsible. If a minor did something, if a minor broke a window, he's not responsible for it. If a minor did Chilul Shabbat, he's not responsible for it. If a minor ate non-kosher, he's not responsible for it. He's not expected to have the maturity to understand. However, there is an isur deoraita. From this pasuk we learn, there is an isur deoraita for us to give them isur. Right? A Kohen, or even a non-Kohen for that matter, takes hand of a 2-year-old, or for that matter, the stroller of 2-day-old baby Kohen boy. Kohen baby boy. And takes the stroller into a cemetery. That's what this pasuk is talking about. Isur deoraita. Isur deoraita.
What is Isur deoraita?
Deoraita is for an adult to cause them to do the Isur.
Oh.
Right? That's what you just read. Lahazir gedolim ala ketanim. We, the adults, are warned, right? We are given a negative commandment not to do the Isur to ketanim. So therefore, as much as if a scenario would come up where a minor found non-kosher food on his own and he ate it, he's not responsible for it. But if an adult made the food available to him, so that adult did Isur deoraita. That adult.
Anybody or only Kohanim?
Anybody.
So why is it brought down here?
Man, that's what I want to talk about. That is what I would like to talk about. Right? So the halacha applies to everything. Right? The halacha applies, as I said, to taking a baby Kohen boy to cemetery, giving non-kosher, asking a minor, please turn on the light on Shabbat. That is Isur deoraita. Now, if you turn on the light on its own, right? Maybe even of an age that I wouldn't tell them. If they're, let's say, about 3, I may not even tell them. You know what? It's Shabbat. They're too young to understand. You don't want to pressure them. You have to find the right age to say everything. That's true. But that's what they do on their own. For us to make something available for them, for us to ask them to do this, that would be Isur deoraita. So the question Nir had is, so how come we sit over here? How come by Kohanim? Now the Gemara in Yevamot brings down really that there are 3 places in Shas, that is, there are 3 places in Torah that this halacha is mentioned. We had it 3 weeks ago in Parashat Shemini also. And Yomar explains why you need all three to tell us that it applies to the entire 613. But just a little bit focusing on the idea here, it seems Torah is giving us a very important, subtly, Torah is giving us a very important lesson in relationship with our children. Torah says, "Lahazhir gedolim ala ketanim." Right? Let's look at the pasuk again. Hashem talks to Moshe, says, "Go talk to the Kohanim who are children of Aaron, and tell them." Now, "and tell them" is the mitzvah. And tell them, you tell them the mitzvah. But what is the first thing you say? Talk to the children of Kohanim. That means you tell them, we are responsible for you, the youngsters also. So how do you deal with it? By telling them you are the children of Aaron. By showing them the importance. By showing them the significance. You could tell a child, look, you're not allowed to do this. You can't do it. You're not allowed to. Or you could explain to them, you're Kadosh. You come from a tribe who represents Hashem. Ki et ishei Elokeim hem makdishim. You could show them the greatness. And therefore, there are certain responsibilities that come with it. The difference is night and day. You could restrict them, or you could elevate them till they get it on their own. Tell you something.
How do you learn it from this pasuk that you can either restrict them or elevate them on their own?
No, I'm saying why Torah chose to tell us this halacha by Kohanim, because it says Emor Kohanim b'nei Aharon. Because by Kohanim, that's how you do it. You tell them you are b'nei Aharon. You have certain responsibility. You have a certain position. That position comes with responsibilities, right? It's natural that's what it was. So you when you do kosher, also you say the same thing. When you do Shabbat, also. Why is this? I'm exploring why Torah chose this to be the example of where it teaches with this halacha. I'll tell you a story. Every time I remember it, I'm a little bit embarrassed of myself. When my son was 5 years old, he was in camp during the summer. So during the summer, they try to have fun. So he comes home, and they're taking them to the next day. The trip is to Science Center, and they said that those who are Kohanim should stay home, because in Science Center there are skeletons, and Kohanim should not come there. So he was young, he was 5. I told him, you know what it means. We are Kohanim. What it means, there is a mitzvah that we should not come in contact with corpses and the bodies and the skeletons, etc. I explained it to him. During the time of Beit HaMikdash, we had the privilege to work in Beit HaMikdash, etc. So the next morning, the day everybody else goes to camp, all his friends, and he's staying home. So I said, "Come, Chaim, let's go. I'll take you for an ice cream." So he says, "Why?" I said, "Because it's during your camp and you're missing a trip. So instead, we're going to have some fun time also. So you should have fun also." So he looks at me. He's like, you see the purity of a young neshama. He says, "But Abba, I'm not going because we are already special. Because we are Kohanim. I don't need ice cream to make this day special." The fact that he wasn't going was special enough for him. And I was so embarrassed of myself that he, with his purity, sees that that's special. And I didn't see it. I felt an ice cream going to make it special. It's so much greater than ice cream. I'm not saying don't give him the ice cream. Of course we should. But I'm saying to give over that feeling. He felt not going is a treat. Why? Because not going shows who I am, what I am. So I feel perhaps this is why this mitzvah is here. This mitzvah is, Torah chose it as an example how I should communicate to my children when I teach them the halachot, the obligations, the parameters of what we do in life and what we do not do in life. That's the way to go about it. You bring them up, you elevate them, you uplift them. That's the way we should do about it ourselves also. If we do it the way this is how we feel, obviously when we articulate it, then that's how we teach it also.